MultimediaJay radio style.
Watch the world changing as the sun
MultimediaJay radio style.
The darkness beckoned, and I answered. Sounds like some kind of sick and twisted plot to some kind of movie or some kind of movie villain or something like that. But we are live because, quite frankly, I wasn't expecting this. It's the 4th of July. I should be, looking for fireworks shows to watch or something like that. And instead, I'm trying to relax and call it an evening after the Friday Live at 5 thing that was way earlier. And suddenly, I get the notification that the Streamlabs Q2 2020 numbers have released. This is that big Streamlabs Streamhatchet quarterly report that compares all the platforms against each other and brings all the Excel nerds like myself to the yard. So, before we get into that, though, I do have some very good news from YouTube land. 3,850 subscribers. I finally hit 3,850 after being stuck around 3,800, 3,830, etc., etc. So I've regained the ground I lost when I first said that I was getting away from straight-up tech videos all the time and getting back more to my multimedia roots. There's still the issues with the folks that refuse to support anything I do except for tinkering with computers all the time. But we shall plow through this and get past it one way or another. All right, let's get going here as Firefox pops up some things like enjoy without interruptions. Okay. Actually, no, that's an Avast pop-up. I've opened Firefox like 7 or 8 times. How come it just now it's popping up? Whatever, Avast. Okay, let's get Excel ready. But first, the browser. Let's check out the article. Let's get set up for that, and let's get some music going. I mean, this is, if I'm going to be spending my 4th of July poking around in Excel and Power Query or something like that, let's have some fun with it now, shall we? Graphics, please. Streamlabs Q2 2020. Streamhatchet report is out. Let's play some music. Is it going to pause because the drive has to spin up again? Okay. I gotta fix that one of these days. How about something a little faster? 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 Okay. I'm about to manually override this. There we go. Whatever, man. Streamlabs and Streamhatchet. Let's check it out. Mixer made headlines last year when it signed an exclusivity deal with Ninja and Shroud, top live streamers. It made the switch from Twitch. It was a big bet in the hopes of attracting a larger audience to the platform. Sadly, it appears this bet wasn't enough to keep the live streaming platform from closing. Microsoft says Mixer will officially shut down on July 22nd. By the way, folks, Twitter.com/MultimediaJay for the link to this article, or just type this URL that's up here. If you're watching in 1080p, you can see it loud and clear. Or what I could do is just copy this, and into the chat it goes. Zing! I keep forgetting I can chat too. It's not like I have to just respond to folks like that. But there is the article to read. There's the article if you want to read some of this. Mixer's team up with Facebook Gaming to give its users a new home. However, it's still unclear how many people will make the transition. Once Mixer shuts down, there will be a vast ecosystem of potential live streamers searching for a new platform. Well, yeah, live streamers that weren't getting any watch hours because the ratios on Mixer were lousy right up until the day they shut down. We'll see what we get here. Whichever platform can attract those users will have a serious advantage and may help in eventually competing with Twitch. YouTube! This quarter, Streamlabs is taking a closer look at each platform's growth and how Mixer's shutdown may affect the industry. Thank you to Streamhatchet, the leading provider of in-game streaming analytics, for providing the data that helps formulate these insights. Highlights! Twitch smashed its previously set records for hours watched, hours streamed, unique channels, and average concurrent viewership. Good! Because Twitch was falling behind in the count on that. Now they just need better technology to introduce more people to more users on the platform. This is an Otis McDonald song, and it has vocals. Skip! I gotta take those out of here at some point. You know what? Bam. Manual override. I'm done playing with Winamp. All right, so Twitch, yeah, good. Twitch needs growth. It wasn't really supporting the amount of people streaming on it before, but we'll see what's happened to the ratios. We're going to start in the Mixer's Golden Moment spreadsheet by duplicating the tabs for Q2, and then we'll just move forward with that from there. Facebook Gaming reached 822 million hours watched on the platform, tripling its numbers year over year. The number of unique channels on Facebook Gaming increased 55% from last quarter and tripled year over year. So, Facebook Gaming, hours watched and hours streamed both tripled year over year. So that's equal growth. So for discoverability's sake, it's not really good news. Hours watched on YouTube Gaming Live increased 39.6% quarter over quarter. Good. YouTube's the one to keep an eye on. YouTube is only a few UI updates away from challenging the living daylights out of everybody else in the industry. The number of unique channels on Mixer reached all-time highs in Q2. There are now over 5 million channels that need to choose another platform to stream on. Valorant was the most watched game on Twitch in a single quarter. Oh, you don't say. The drops in the open beta. Ha 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 ha. We all knew about the Valorant effect. We've been talking about it on this show for quite some time. Probably some footage on YouTube somewhere, one of the crossover clips that went over there. Beating Fortnite, which peaked at youtube.com/MultimediaJay. Check the playlist on the main page, crossover highlights, for the best of the stuff that comes over from other platforms. Okay, hashtag ad. So, Valorant effect. Let's see what we have here. Let's make this even bigger. Yeah. And let's just keep in mind what's where on the screen because we have the stuff on the bottom now. Total hours watched. That's a little too big. So, total hours watched. So as we saw, Mixer, yeah, I don't think Mixer got any better. Wasn't this 2% last quarter? Actually, what am I doing? Am I stupid or what? Put them in tabs. Streamlabs. Q1 2020. It's still out there, right? Yeah, it's in the Streamlabs blog. Why don't we make it so we can just flip between the two articles? Boo. Yes, I was right. What you think of that, huh? What? Wrong browser. Why is it showing that? Chrome, huh? Wrong browser. Okay. Let's close that. There we go. What the? Oh, it's because I have a new tab open and I somehow moved it out. Gee whiz. Anyways, close that out. Yeah, eBay, Social Blade, blah, 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 MultimediaJay, TurboTax. Oh, Ethan Meisel, good choice. Now, let's see here. 67.6 versus 65, so they're losing market share. YouTube is gaining. Facebook just added a decimal and Mixer shrunk. Gee, I wonder where everybody's going. But when you factor out the percents, though, and you start looking at some of these numbers, 3,000 something mil versus 5,000 something mil. 1076 versus 1502, that's some solid growth. 553 versus 822, and Mixer goes from 81 to 106. Now let's look at total hours streamed. 192.7, what was this last quarter? 121. So the question is, how is the ratio holding up as we go from quarter to quarter? It was 14.2 last go round, now 16.9. 6M versus 4.9M, 23 versus 36. So Mixer just got worse. And I imagine some of these statistics, if Mixer knew them beforehand through data collecting systems they ran internally, might have actually informed the decision to close the platform. So unique channels we have here. What do we have for changes in the number of unique channels? Just flip between the tabs here. Oh yeah, people are going crazy with Twitch. I'm part of this. Although I think, I was doing some streaming in March, actually, before quarantine when I got into this a little more. Yeah, unique channels. Whoa, YouTube Gaming shrunk as a percentage. But what about the whole numbers? No, they still grew as numbers. Again, this is the difference between numbers and percents. Total hours watched in Q2. Here's quarantine month right here, and as things open back up, we can see the dip as people start going back to work. Then you got esports, publishers, and all that other stuff. But what we are looking for here, we are looking for the numbers in Q2 to apply them to our spreadsheets and our spreadsheets will do all the hard work for us, so to speak. So let's see here. Let's do some, let's fire up Excel. We're going to begin in the spreadsheet from Mixer's golden moment. So we're going to make this, well, actually, yeah, let's see here. Flip some things around here. So many things going. I might need a third screen at the rate I'm going. Excel! Boom. Okay, we're starting out with Mixer's golden moment. But what I want to do, I want to start a database of these numbers. I want to start a database of these numbers that runs off of, or well, a Power Query file. And we can pull these on demand just like that, but just by hitting a refresh button. I don't want to have the same stuff all over and over. And this is where we'll get to really show off what Power Query can do here. So, sheet 1, this is going to be Q1 2020. This is probably the last time we're going to duplicate this. Oh, another good choice. Good job, Winamp. Q2 2020. We're going to eliminate all of that stuff about the streamer revolt from the Q2 2020 sheet, because we don't care about any of that stuff for this. Let's see here. We're not going to redo that again. We know Mixer was so far behind the 8-ball, they had no chance. So we're going to take everything out except these. So take out uBook, FaceMix, and Mixer++. Actually, leave uBook in there for Franken streaming between those two, if you do multi-streaming. Because we want to compare YouTube and Facebook, the non-exclusive platforms, versus Twitch, which has all those exclusivity, those stuffy exclusivity agreements in their stuff here. So we want to leave uBook on here. Let's give it a new color. Let's make this the green this go round. Let's make this the green platform this go round. uBook, because green as in go, and green as in this. Green as in go, and green as in you're free. You're free to multi-stream and stuff. All right, get these out of here, and let's see what kind of ratios we have this go round. So, it's gonna be, you know what? Can we do 50-50? All right, let's do this. Right, I don't need to see watched over streamed. Oh, I'm actually, oh, no, I wanted to put it over everything. All right. Well, we might as well do that. Well, I don't have browser plus Excel anymore, and I don't want to break the browser. Huh. Well then. Full size, please. And we'll just float the window over everything else. No, put it on screen too. Let's punch it all in. Total hours watched for Twitch, 5066.5. YouTube, 1502.9. Facebook, 822.5. This is all in millions, by the way. And Mixer was 106.2 in its final quarter of operation. Total hours streamed, 192.7, 16.9, 6, and 36.3. And there we go. Now for uBook equals YouTube plus Facebook, and equals YouTube plus Facebook. There we go. So here's our ratios for watched versus streamed and how they compare quarter over quarter, Q1, Q2, etc. All right. So Twitch was the last place competitor out of everything now, if we don't count Mixer. So Mixer went from 2.876 to 2.926, so a modest improvement. Twitch went from 25,652 to 26,292, modest improvement. YouTube from 75,810 to 88,929, a notable improvement compared to what Twitch did. And then Facebook 113 to 137.83, but remember, Facebook has technical issues that will affect these numbers. So that's the biggie there. So in terms of hours watched versus hours streamed, from the mathematics alone, despite the the whole thing with the discoverability and everything, the winner here is still YouTube overall. Yeah, Twitch has the biggest audience, but let's take a look at these ratios here. Almost four. They're up to about 1,500-ish, 1,500, 3,000, 4,500, 6,000, almost 4 times the streaming scene. But how big is? But now over 10 times. I want to do a ratio of this. So, what is the ratio of the number of streamed hours on YouTube versus, or the number of streamed hours on Twitch versus the number of streamed hours on YouTube. Yeah, 11. So, I thought so. 11 times the results. So, what we need for all of this is we need data sources and all kinds of other stuff. We got to get out of this mixer file, and we have to create something, excuse me, that we can use for keeping an eye on these things. So you're talking 11 times the amount of streamers. Let's see here. Stream hours, I should say. For only 3 times, about 3 and change the times, 3.3 times the audience for 11.4 times the hours streamed. So again, the whole discoverability thing. Yeah, it improved, but YouTube is making the most strides in this area. And remember, YouTube as a streaming platform has the best technical stuff for things like transcoding and access and stuff. The biggest hurdle on YouTube is the UI, algorithms, and the number of extra clicks that it takes to look specifically for streamers on the platform instead of just watching videos all the time. So, and we have another thing here where, let's check our sources here. Winamp is not part of this scene. Okay, we can add that very, very quickly. Get that on the screen, get some credit going for what we're playing from the YouTube audio library. There we go. This file gets better and better the more I realize it doesn't work in OBS. All right. So there we go. So Twitch versus YouTube. I'm going to make something just for this. For Twitch versus YouTube, what we're talking about with Twitch versus YouTube is specifically how big, what are the differences in the sizes of watch hours versus stream hours? And I know that one contributor to this is all these Twitch streamers that don't have any show flow in their streams. They just gobble up hours and essentially make it so other people can't have an audience because they feel glued to this one person for 6-7 hours or so because they're the big streamer, they're the ones and whatnot. There's a certain element of human behavior that people themselves are going to have to change in order for this scene to ever change. So, Twitch and YouTube. I'd say YouTube has made better gains than Twitch, despite their smaller numbers. From 75 to 88, and you know there isn't technical shenanigans going on like the way Facebook deploys their partnership program or their monetization and stuff like that. Now, let's get ourselves a picture here. Take these ratios out. Let's get ourselves a nice big picture to send over to Twitter. This is as far in as I can zoom. Get Picasa in on the action. All right, there's going to be a couple of things going on invisibly, and you're going to see me clicking a lot of stuff that's not being shown on screen. Bam. Okay, we're going to do that. Let's go into Picasa. Let's go into Picasa here, and let's take this, crop everything out. We're going to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and uBook, and we're going to post this up to Twitter. Head out of this, do an auto contrast to make the colors a little brighter if that's even possible, and save. So in the browser, which is now going across 2 different screens here, let's head over to twitter.com/MultimediaJay, and let's put in that picture that just popped up in the screen, in the stream. Q2 platforms versus platforms with uBook as an alternative, as a Frankenstream of YouTube and Facebook. Because those are going to be the surviving non-exclusive platforms. We also have to pay attention to how the uBook number improves quarter over quarter as well. So let's see here. We get out of Picasa here. uBook was 85,356. It is going up to 101,546, fueled by increases in the discoverability ratios of these 2 platforms. I don't know, maybe I should give Facebook a try, because Twitch is still the worst. When it comes to watch versus streamed, Twitch is still in last place. They're so associated with streaming that so many people are streaming there, and the audience is not growing. Not to the proportionate amount in order for this ratio to be better. So the question is, watch versus stream, you just have to multiply a few things. What kind of streaming hours are we talking about in order for Twitch to be... What kind of watch hours would Twitch need in order to have a ratio of 88,929? Might be time to bust out the calculator. As the opposite of division would be 192.7 streaming hours times 88.929. Oh, I don't have the calculator on this panel. Okay. And this just goes to show just how hard it is for Twitch to sustain its own growth when it's this popular. Oh, this is bad. Source, please. Give me the calculator. Give me the calculator from the other screens. Let's bring that in. Now, let's close this. Let's see here. Ta-da! It's not picking it up. Just do Excel. Now let's do calculator. There we go. Just had to reset it. There's what we're talking about. If you multiply everything up, you get that. And just to throw things in reverse and just double check this, watched versus streamed. Let's take this 17136.6183 and let's clear everything. Let's paste that 17186. Those are hours watched divided by, just checking the math, 192.7 would give a ratio of 88,929. Yes, that was correct. Remember a few things about multiplication and division from my school days, but there you go. So 17136.6183 rounded up, 17136.6 would have to be the watch hours in order for Twitch to have the ratio that YouTube has. The question is, can they even get that many people to come to the platform? 17136.6 divided by 5066.5. They would have to triple and then some the size of their own platform in order to have that kind of ratio. So that really gives some sobering numbers as to exactly how big Twitch is. So, oh man, let me tell you, this is some crazy stuff, man. All right, so let's save this. This is the final Mixer's Golden Moment that we're going to do. The next thing I want to do is I want to upgrade this file to properly support Power Query. So in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to organize all the data and then have everything pinged together. So let's see here. We have two of these right here. So let's do a save as. Camera and graphics, please. We're gonna do some things off screen here so we can change the name of the file. Save as. So this will be Streamlabs, Streamhatchet, the Streamlabs Streamhatchet Cruncher. We will save this in the same spot as the Mixer's Golden Moment spreadsheet. And this is where we start our work. Alright, I want to standardize all of this data. I want to standardize all of this data in one list where we can punch it in every single time. So, first order of business, we need to strip out all the formatting. So Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and Ubook. See here. Alright, so first we need a place to store the data. So let's see. And we're going to use Power Query. We're going to make this into a table that we essentially expand by bringing in the quarterlies every single time there's a quarter. So let's make this. This will be quarterly. Quarterly data. There we go. So first order of business, let's take off the grid lines. I don't really care for the whole ledger paper look. So we need the platform. We need quarter, and then watched M, streamed M, watched M, streamed M, and then watched, and then we'll just call it the ratio for watch versus stream. This is way too small, but you'll get more, just do this. Probably don't need the ribbon as much either. There we go. And I think in the interest of making things neater, it should probably be instead quarter platform. So we use this as an identifier. And actually what we should do, since every data set needs a unique ID, we'll do ID for this, and we'll make it a concatenated field for this sort of thing. So, Q1 2020. Let's bring in the Q1 stuff. It'll be real easy to do. We just want to strip the formatting out of it. So, we have Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and we're going to keep uBook in there as well. We're going to say goodbye to Mixer++. And we only want the raw numbers from Q1. Let's take this over here, and let's paste as plain text. There we go. We don't want to worry about anything just yet. So let's do Q1 2020. I think the ID we can add in Power Query. We'll add a unique... no. Yeah, we should do a concatenated field. So, for the concatenation, equals the quarter and ampersand. Where's my ampersand on this thing? There. B2 and C2. It's a string of nonsense, but we need something that we know will always be different for every row when we convert this over to a table. Now for ratio, we're going to do equals watched divided by streamed, and then bring the formula down. Now, let's bring in Q2. Q2 2020. And let's do, nope. Q2, Q. It's so hard to type Q2 and you can't actually look down at your keyboard. Nope. Q2. Alright, let's bring this in. Streamlabs, Stream Elements, etc. Let's do this. So for Q2, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and uBook. Bring those in and copy the formulas. There's that. Just the formulas. We don't need any of the formatting. Paste as just the values. Take this down. And then take this down. This is the part where we get fancy. Give me all of this. Let's go to data. Need to import data? Yes, we do. All right, let's do from table and range. Let's convert this into a data source. From table and range. Yes, and it has headers. Let's see here. Shuffle is really on a roll tonight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my bread and butter Power Query, which we need to add to the Excel thing in order to be able to see it. So let's do that. We need to add Power Query to the Excel display in order to be able to see it here. So we need to add another source. Plus, window capture. This one's going to be called Excel. This one's going to be called Power Query. I don't think I'll ever use Power BI on here. There's two Power Queries, so let's bring in Power Query, and it's picking it up automatically. Good. Just what I'm looking for. I want this to open over, I want the overlays to be over everything, but I want Power Query to be just over Excel, so when we have it open, it'll cover it up. Okay. All right, let's give this data source a name. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll zoom. No, it won't. So, yeah, oops. Yeah, one of the problems with Power Query is this is data behind the scenes. And if we look at it, it already assigned data types to everything based on what it is, text, and it added decimal numbers here, and it added a ratio to that as well. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to call this quarterly data. And at this point, we can actually get rid of... So source, change type, we can rename all of these too. So what we do in Power Query is we can create an SOP for this thing to crunch all the data. And this is where we can generate charts, graphs, and all kinds of other stuff just by plugging in the data every single quarter. So this unique identifier is to identify everything. We can always put some stuff in, things like that. It'll also eliminate duplicates as well. We could always put that in as an index in the table. But if we hit close and load, we notice the formatting has changed, and now it's trying to generate something here. Discover more about your data. Well, we don't need this spat out. We don't need the raw data regurgitated to us, so let's get rid of that. But now we have special formatting over here, and we have queries and connections. So we now have the quarterly data accessible as a data source. So let me add a new group to this, and let's do move to group. Let's make a new group. Call it from this file's sheets. Because every data source that's in here, it's going to be a source of data, first of all, and it's going to come from the sheets within the file itself. In this case, the quarterly data as it is. We can leave it connection only. I don't want to display it on here. These two are now obsolete. See ya! both of those spreadsheets are now obsolete because now we can just select something. We can select a quarter, actually. We can do all kinds of stuff here. So now we have this. So let me just go here and let me make it so that everything is centered. Maybe we should put some shadowing on here as well, but I don't think that's an Excel thing. We could always dig for it later. All right, so we have our data source here, and we have all of our data. So what we have here is basically something that we can plug stuff into. So if I go down here in Q3 and I type Q3 2020, it immediately adds, it's starting to add everything already. So I can add mixer, and I'll put 99.99 and like 1 and give it the worst ratio ever. And of course, now this is going to treat it like a table. Everything else is... There we go. Take that out, please. Let me go to table design, and let's pick something. I usually like to go with a blue kind of thing like this. And there we go. So this is our raw data. This doesn't look nice, but it gives us a standardized spot in order to plug everything in later on. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to show the ratios and be able to just change the quarter in order to display the ratios. I don't want to be typing a lot of stuff. So let's fire up Power Query here. Queries and connections. Now, from this file sheets, let's add a new group and let's call it in progress. Or should I say a more appropriate name, behind the scenes. For everything that is never going to output somewhere, but is some kind of way of calculating things behind the scenes. So let's take their quarterly data right here and let's reference it, which will fire up Power Query. Oh, I hope I don't break it in the stream. So I want to have a list of just the quarters. So we want to do quarters from quarterly data. All right. So next thing I want to do, I want to extract just the quarters for a menu of quarters that I can pick from, or I can choose from, or even copy paste from, in order to display things on the various sheets and stuff that I want to use. And then we can bust out things like conditional formatting, so that based on whether or not it is, what platform it is, it changes color. And that way our colors are always consistent. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have what I just pasted into, excuse me, what I just pasted into Twitter, the picture I just took, to be something I can generate, not have to keep copying sheets. So, let's see what we have here. All right, so here's Power Query. Everything's going to be fine print again for the time being. Let's do transform, and let's do a group by. I want to group by the platform. I don't want to have any kind of result rows. So, it's unfortunately going to count the rows. Can I go into advanced mode and shut that off? Ah, it's grayed out. Okay. Platform then. So give me a list of platforms, and let's rename. Generate platform list. And so it counts the number of rows. We don't need that, so we can just remove that. And let's do this. And let's just replace errors. I want to remove that column. It looks like it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. Remove. And remove extra fields. I wanted quarters, not platforms. What on earth was I thinking? Well, we can just rename that. Generate quarter list. And we can go into the gear to go behind the scenes and have it regroup by quarter. Change it to quarter instead. Bam. Remove extra fields. That works, right? Yes, it does. So now we have quarters. And we can put this in alphabetical order. So hopefully Q1 2020 and Q2 20, everything, when we get more quarters in here, it all adds up by year. So starting with 2020, here's our list of quarters. Sort in alphabetical order. Now notice that I'm basically writing an instruction list for how someone could manually do everything if, say, this thing didn't work or something, by these applied steps on the side in Power Query. So, right. So I have Q1 and Q2 2020 available. Let's close out of here. Now let's, of course, it put them in here, which I don't really need. Song's a little too sad. There we go. Something a little cheerier, somewhat. So it generated a sheet, which we don't want, but let's see. Let's just take out the whole thing. If we delete where this thing goes to, it turns into connection only. Now take quarters from quarterly data. Let's move that to behind the scenes because that's something in transit. So here's where everything's going to go. And actually, we could even put ID off to the side and then rearrange it behind the scenes to use as a unique identifier. Otherwise, you know, we know just to type the quarter and the platform and everything else to bring in the numbers later on. All right, let's add something that we can actually look at this stuff on. Something a lot more colorful. I don't know if we can use conditional formatting or anything for this, but let's add something here. And let's add quarterly results. Right. So off to the side, I want to have a list of quarters. So we'll actually have them appear here into a table. Actually, no. Let's go back behind the scenes and let's rename that last field. Since we're only going to use this once for drop-downs and stuff, let's do available quarters. And we'll just do that. There. So quarters from quarterly data, we want it to show up here. Spit it out as a table right there for available quarters. And let's do dark blue with all white underneath it, like this. Get rid of the grid lines, please. Ugh, such an eyesore. If you don't like looking at Excel stuff all day or something. So here we go. We have available quarters for Q1 2020 and Q2 2020. I don't necessarily want them brushing up against the top, so let's bring in something like this. Shift cells down. Oh, actually, wait a minute. We have to hit load 2. And yeah, let's take that out. We delete that, it'll go back to connection only. I want to load that to O2, actually. So we want to just go here, load that there. Right here, existing worksheet O2. There's our available quarters. Set our formatting yet again. Good. Now, this together like this. Okay, so we have our available quarters here. We want to be able to set a quarter. So what we'll do for this is just simply say quarter, or no, up here. Nah, let's keep it at B2, so we can have some white space background between the two. To show. This is, and we'll do Q2 2020 in here, but we can just copy it over from that menu, or I think there's a way to link things up so this can be a drop down, but for now I just want to get it working. Quarter to show. Data from this file's sheets. Let's do data from table range from there. Yes, my table has headers. Do this as behind the scenes and set this to quarter to show. Good. Close that out. That just applied formatting. We do not need it to spit out something like this. Goodbye. All right, there's quarter to show right there. Set the formatting so it looks a little more official. Table design. This. So I can pick something here, and now based on the data, let's take the quarter. Let's start with the quarterly data. Let's reference this, and let's do quarterly results. Let's make this into something we can actually display. Right there. Quarterly results. All right. So we have this. Let's transform it. We want to merge these things, actually. We want to merge them together and make everything match. So I want to merge this with quarter to show, and I want to merge this with this and make it an inner join so only what matches is there. So there. Now we only have quarter 2 showing up. Set this to merge for quarter to show in order to select what quarter we're showing. We don't need any columns from that. So there we go. So we have this. We can also get rid of the identifiers as well. And there you go. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and uBook. You can remove all of those. And there's our ratio. Close and load. Now, by default, it's going to try and put it on its own sheet, which we don't want. So we just get rid of this junk sheet right here. As always, don't forget to save. Now over here, roughly around here or so, load to quarterly results. Move to group, new group. Results for display. Everything in this group is going to be shown on something. Quarter to show, we can move that over to from this file sheets because it's a data source. This is where we can pick some things here and there. It's where we're setting a parameter here. All right. Show me the results. Load to that spot specifically. Okay, there's that. So now let's strip all the formatting out and try and manually override it. So take all of that out. Notice we have drop downs because we can now filter this now. So, all right, let's make this a lot bigger. And this will take unfortunately available quarters off the screen. Now, all this. Let's do this. We should probably have quarter to show. Nah, okay. Quarterly results. Make it connection only again. Get rid of that data. Goodbye. I want to put it in its own section. So quarter to show. I don't want any of the margins getting in the way of any of this. So let's actually have it load here. Because when we're going to be taking our right here. All right, so there's our ratios. And all we do is change what the quarter is that we're showing. That's a bit too far of a gap actually. So let's take these, let's get rid of all of those. So there we go. One more thing closer. So it's kind of got like a Mickey Mouse type look going on, except this is going to keep getting bigger as the quarters keep going down. We could always limit the results to the 5 most recent, though. So let's see. All right, so here we are. Table design. Table design. Remove the formatting completely, and let's just blow this up as big as it'll get. We do want to limit those ratios, though. So let's check our Twitter here. What did we have that earlier as? We kept it at one decimal. So for this, we can actually go, let's go to Power Query and let's, actually no. Let's do it here. So for all the numbers, for all these numbers, actually no, coming out of Power Query should be doing that. Because then we don't have to keep worrying about what the cells are formatted as. Edit the quarterly results. We can use a round command in here to round the ratio. Transform, round, and just round. It'll ask how many decimals. Decimal places, 1. There we go. So we'll do round to 1 decimal. Because I don't think the report for watched and streamed is ever going to have that. So take that out right there, and that should fix the data as well. So there we go. Now, next question. I want to center all of this, and I want the formatting. I want this to center all this, bold it all, and now I want to use conditional formatting. See if I can remember. Does conditional formatting... Let's see, highlight cells rules. Let's see, more rules. New rule. Let's see here. Well, since if Twitch is always going to be first, on this, what happens if we just do this manually? I don't think I'm going to like the results. Twitch purple, YouTube red. Not to be confused with that little branding issue they had earlier. Facebook navy. Mixer medium blue. Mixer blue and uBook green. So we've now regenerated this, and all we have to do is change this to Q1 2020 and then hit refresh. There, we switched everything back. And we can also sort everything as well. Take off Facebook. The colors stay there. Bring it back. So, goodbye, Mixer. There we go. What if we take off YouTube as well? Does that screw up the colors? No, it doesn't. This is real-time filtering everything. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. So we have these. I wonder if there's a way to make these little drop-down things disappear. But this is where we can get our screenshots from. Platform Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and all we have to do is just scroll around to set everything. There's our numbers. So now, this is the part where we can actually put in graphs and stuff to monitor things like the discoverability, things along those lines. So let's hop to that as well. I want to have a tab for YouTube versus Twitch. So, from the quarterly results, let's add another tab in here for YouTube versus Twitch. YouTube versus Twitch. I want to, or should I say Twitch versus YouTube? The champion versus the challenger. Get that W out of there. Turn off the grid lines. So I want to have all that data that I was talking about earlier here. So quarterly results, we've got that. I wonder if I could load that to 2 different spots at once. Quarterly results, load to. Actually, no. Quarters from quarterly data, etc. Quarterly results. Let's duplicate this and let's just make this Twitch versus YouTube. Or should I say YouTube versus Twitch? YouTube. We just duplicated this so it's pulling from the same source. We'll do YouTube versus Twitch. We can't have any dots in there. Take that out then. There we go. YouTube versus Twitch. And at the end of this, filter just YouTube and Twitch. Bam. Show only YouTube and Twitch. There we are. So and this is all based on the quarter that is select on the quarterly results. So first I want to have basically these results showing up on Twitch versus YouTube. So let's take that out. So first we'll just have it load up here. YouTube versus Twitch results for display. And let's put it there. Same with the formatting. Let's do bare bones formatting. Bare bones formatting. Make this bigger. And this is where it gets interesting. So I want to be able to calculate all of that evenly. So first we want to do this. And just do no italicizing. Do this. All right, Twitch. Set it to its usual Twitch purple. YouTube to YouTube red. I'm not gonna stop with those YouTube red jokes. And this is all based on the quarter that we set before. You can make this bigger here. Okay, so the next thing I want to keep an eye on here is the ratio, the differences in the sizes. And this is where I think we can do Power Query and we do a reference to all of this. So, see here. Twitch's watched is... Move one cell over. Let's do Twitch's watched versus YouTube's watched. Alright, Twitch's watched versus YouTube's watched equals, I think I can reference this. This divided by this. 2.8928. So we're actually referencing one of these output tables here, so we can have little ad hoc formulas along the side. What happens if we filter it, though? If I remove Twitch? Probably still keeps it, right? Yeah, it's just for display. There's no reason to ever want to filter this. Alright, let's do Twitch's streamed versus YouTube's streamed. Bold. So here's my ratio of streaming hours. Streamed for Twitch versus streamed for YouTube. There's a way to reference the data directly instead of using D232, but I'll look that up some other time. I haven't done this in a while. Twitch's watch versus YouTube watch. So there's our ratio there. Why is that different? 121 because this is Q1, right? I set it back to Q1 instead of Q2. Yes. So let's do Q2 and hit refresh. No, Q2 2020. There's probably a way to make that into a drop-down menu that I could look up to make this even better. Twitch versus YouTube. Okay, there we go. Why is platform so... there we go. We need to do a merge and center. So for these three, let's do a merge and center on that. That should eliminate our issues with that. Wow, we don't need that either. Format, please. Do it 1 decimal to match everything else. Actually, maybe we should do 2 for this one. And since we know this is generated by something, let's pick a color for this. Let's do blue. So there we go. Twitch's watched versus YouTube's watched, and Twitch's streamed versus YouTube's streamed. So there's our ratios right there. there's our ratios, and all we do is just set the quarter over on quarterly results for quarter to show. So this is Q2. This is the most recent. There we go. Nicely generated. Actually, since I am generating this, I should probably... Yeah, let's remove the picture. We'll generate stuff to bring it over later. Let's see here. Twitch's watch versus YouTube's watch. Twitch is streamed versus YouTube streamed. Okay, so that's one of the things I want to watch here, is what this ratio is. See how they keep comparing to each other. So, and this is what matters. If this ratio is bigger than this, that's where a lot of the discoverability problems come from on Twitch. So, technology aside, just by the raw mathematics, 3 and change times the size for Twitch's watched versus 11.4. Now, let's see here. Take this down to here. To match YouTube's ratio, Twitch watched must be, and this will keep an eye on just how big Twitch is. To match YouTube's ratio, Twitch's watched, so you can put the apostrophe in without, there we go. Okay. To match YouTube's ratio, Twitch's watched ratio must be number of hours streamed for Twitch multiplied by the ratio for YouTube. 17, we'll take this down to 1 decimal point as well. This isn't a holiday song, is it? Yeah, it's Jolly Old St. Nicholas, but it's the instrumental version, so it's not like someone's going to be reading, singing, lyrics and stuff. Hey, Christmas in July, why not? All right, let's bold this up. So, in order for Twitch, if Twitch wanted to have the same ratio as YouTube, they would need 17,131 million hours watched in a quarter. So, meaning Twitch must be this much bigger. This is the last ratio that I referenced beforehand. Is this. So, equals this ratio divided by what Twitch currently is. So Twitch would have to triple and then some in size. In case we ever have quarters, let's do 0.2 in here. There we go. There we go. So if Twitch wanted to match the ratio of YouTube, they would have to, if Twitch wanted to match the ratio of YouTube, they would basically have to triple and then some in size. Ah, yes, analytics. Hey, can we do something for Facebook gaming as well? Maybe. I wonder. What other numbers should I look at? Actually, what we should do, we should square off... Should we really square off Twitch versus uBook for Twitch's stuffiness with exclusivity? Because you could always Frankenstream multi-stream on both YouTube and Facebook if they don't follow in Twitch's footsteps with the stuffiness. I think Facebook, from what I'm hearing from some of the Facebook creators, I think Facebook might be pursuing exclusivity deals with some creators, and that's definitely a way that I can imagine Facebook shooting itself in the foot when it comes to streaming. No, Twitch shouldn't even be doing that, never mind any of the other players. At some point, the conversation will shift towards individuals and whose content goes where, but it's also part of the media industry as well to have exclusivity deals and spend a lot of money to be like official partners or something. Sporting events do that too. It's one of the reasons why content creators avoid saying the word Super Bowl if they know what they're doing, because that's actually something where you need to license in order to relate to it and stuff. Fortunately, we're in the middle of July, so... Anyways, and there's no sports going on anyways. So, Twitch versus uBook. I probably should. Yeah, I probably should compare Twitch versus the Frankenstreams. Let's duplicate this, and we'll just change the data that's in it. Move or copy. Let's make a new one, and let's call it Twitch versus uBook. Now, where's it getting its data from? All right, this is just raw data at this point. But if we just do this, let's go back into Power Query again. Oh, it made a separate one. Sweet. Let's see if we can just change it and have everything still work. And then we'll just change the colors. So let's do... Actually, let's change... Since we're not doing YouTube versus Twitch, let's rename the YouTube versus Twitch one to Twitch versus YouTube. Oh, wait, yeah, we also can't put the dots in there. It's been a while. Twitch versus YouTube. I don't know if that'll break any references. And let's do Twitch versus uBook for somebody to compare the numbers for something that people frankenstream. Behind the scenes, once again, into Power Query, Twitch versus uBook, show only uBook and Twitch. It helps to get your spacing and punctuation correct, dude. Alright. Change this filter, drop YouTube, and bring in uBook. This represents the numbers for a frankenstream, someone who streams on the non-exclusive platforms, multi-streaming. This is where it gets embarrassing. Change this color over to the green that we're using for uBook. And let's see. Do this. Control H, find YouTube, replace with uBook. So replace, 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 and that should be it. Cannot find a match. Good. I didn't want to change it. Didn't want to change it over here as well. All right, Twitch's watched versus uBook's watched is only twice as big. So this is the real showdown here. This is the real showdown here because if Facebook and YouTube remain non-exclusive, and they don't get all stuffy with exclusivity, here's the ratios that we're looking at here. So Twitch is watched versus uBook's watched. So now Twitch is only twice the size of streaming on both of those platforms, and in the streams is 8.41 versus 11.40. So a bit of a difference there. Not as good, obviously, with the streams, unless you consider that the streaming hours are your competition. So it's okay if that's lower. So 22.9 versus 16.9. So it is bigger. So you're talking about a little more competition. But because we're talking about frankenstreaming here, we're talking about multi-streaming. You're gonna be on both platforms anyways. So. Anyways, yes, ratio 101.5. To match uBook's ratio, Twitch would need 19,559 hours watched in a quarter and change. Twitch would have to be nearly 4 times larger in order to support creators with the same ratio that a multi-stream between YouTube and Facebook would offer between all of this. So this gives us something, Streamlabs, Streamhatchet, Cruncher, this gives us a standardized thing where we can set our quarters. We can even bring in graphs as well to monitor the trends if we really want to go that far. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that for the ratios? So for this one I'm going to need, let's bring this in here. Let's bring in a graph and let's turn off the, again, let's do that. Let's see how things go from quarter to quarter. Bring in a graph that feeds off of this. Maybe a pivot chart or something. All right. One last thing. Let's do ratio. Let's do watched versus watched. Let's do watch stream ratios. And let's do a graph of all of this. So for this, what I'll need is I'll need some data, obviously. Quarterly data, I want to have everything. We'll probably restrict this a little later, but I want to just reference everything right now. It'd be cool if we could restrict this and only show certain quarters. Or, I think you can do that. You can actually select your data in the chart that we generate from all of this. So, let's see here. All right, we're going to do, for this one, this will be the watch stream ratios. For this, we're going to have, let's do quarter, platform, and the ratio. Quarter, platform, and the ratio. And remove other columns. Alright, see? Remove unnecessary columns. I'm changing the names because if I come back in here to do like a what if or something and I add some commands, the fact that I'm not using default commands for the names of everything, and if we want to get even fancier, there's code we can do. Here's the M code, actually, that we can modify, which is also not available, which we also need to add. So, alright, let's add it. Sources, yet another window, please. I want to do, let's see. power query M code. And it guessed correctly for this. Good. Let's just put this here, roughly corresponding to where it is on the screen. Good. Just what I'm looking for, but we do want to have it. There we go. Get the orders correct here. Get the order of operations or whatever. Yeah, if you want to do that, there we go. There, now we can show the code if we want to come behind the scenes and modify the code on something fancy later on. Good stuff. And it goes away if you... it shares it. Okay. So for the M code window, we'll just shut it off. Actually, you know, it is a source, so we could always just... There. And just turn off the box. So what happens if we open it back up? If I go back into the advanced editor. It's not picking it up. Okay, that's going to be a little tricky. Right then, we'll just remove that as a source. Or just modify it. Let's do... Window title must match. Excel EXE Advanced Editor. Does that do it? See, I'm not seeing it here, but let's just close out of it. And bring it back up again. We'll fix that later. This is the first time... I don't think I've ever even thought I'd be trying to stream Power Query. Okay, Q1 2020, Q2 2020. Here's all of our ratios and results and stuff. Now I want to generate a chart based on all of this. So there's this. We could also bring the data model in if we want to get really fancy. But let's see. Let's take this out here. What we could do an optical illusion. Have the data show up underneath and make this results for display. Move to group results for display. Load to. We'll just put the chart over it. Actually, let's do a pivot chart instead. See what this does. Oh, okay. So let's do quarter platform ratio. Alright, so that's sort of what I'm looking for. Chart type. What's this song? Oh, it's E's Jammy Jam's Whispering Stream. Nice. I should make a nature video or something, or maybe show scenery in ESO or something like that. Alright. Alright, so this is not what we're looking for. Can I get a chart type in here? Where is that on here? Data source. Pivot chart analyze. About format. Design. Oh, here we are. Here's our... I want lines. I don't want... Change chart type. There we go. I want lines. I want lines and data points. And I want multiples. So we'll just do... Actually, we'll do all lines here. Lines with data points. There we go. Alright, let's see here. The axis, for the axes, we want that. So we do want categories. So we want platform actually to be series. There we go. But it's giving me the sum of the ratios here. Is this what we're looking for? Yeah, so Facebook always has the... Yeah, 113. Oh, it's not rounding them. 137. And, of course, we can always just do an optical illusion. Let's cover everything up. Zing! Close out all the fancy stuff. There we go. Make that nice and 1080p. It'd be nice if we could make it bigger. There's our ratios right there. Just the colors are off. So there's Mixer. Here's Twitch going from what, 25 to 26. So it's just, I gotta change the colors if that's even possible. I don't... Oh, wait a minute. Let's change the series here. Hold on. Twitch. Let's set that to purple. That changed the fill color. Undo. It's gotta be... I think there's... What if we just did this? This one... Let's see here. That's Facebook. Navy. Nope, that's not it. How about the outline? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the outline. Alright, so let's do automatic for fill colors. That's for the dots and stuff. Okay. What's this one? This is U-Book. Change the outline color to dark green. This one is YouTube. Change the outline color to red. This down here is Twitch. Data series. Change the outline color to Twitch purple. And then down here is Mixer. Ha ha, poor Mixer. Yeah. Oh, man. Look at all these fill colors, too. Why don't we just make the fill color match everything else? So, there. Have everything match. Set the fill on YouTube to red. Haha, YouTube red. Yeah. This one. Oh, these points. Yeah, we gotta change those later. So this will fill in as we continue, then. As we continue adding more quarters, this chart will become a lot more relevant. Save. There we go. So final results from all of this. Twitch's challenge continues to be growing at a rate that can support the number of hours streamed in the same way that its competitors are. Mixer, we can pretty much dump at this point. But we'll keep uBook. We'll keep uBook as the Franken option, so to speak. The multi-stream option. Franken-stream, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Let's close the ribbon, actually. There we go. You know, we probably don't even need to have the headings in here either. Haha, nice. So this is generated now. Good. Probably can keep the headings, though. Just for the heck of it. So here's the thing. Twitch grew, and it grew extremely well. Let's go back to the report itself. Okay, so there we are. Again, the percentages tell the story. We could bring we could actually generate. We can generate this pie chart with our numbers. Yeah, maybe I'll do that for next time we talk about this stuff. We cleared the hour mark, though, so I think this is... So, Twitch smashed its previously set records for hours watched, hours streamed, unique channels, and average concurrent viewership. So, Twitch benefited greatly from the quarantine. This is huge right here. But at the same time, the growth is not properly supporting the number of people that are streaming versus YouTube. And that is the ratio that I'm going to be keeping an eye on the most. You know what? Let's get away from the report. This is the ratio that I'm going to be keeping an eye on the most right here. Because if you just want one killer platform, that platform, believe it or not, is YouTube. Twitch will have problems with there's too many people streaming. Facebook will have its technical limitations. As in, transcoding and all the good stuff about streaming is very limited. Is that really only 6 million hours streamed? Yes, it was. I'm not used to simple whole numbers like that showing up. So there you go. The platform to watch is still YouTube. I'm not saying that just because I'm a longtime YouTuber, but because their ratio improved quite well. And when you consider the whole package of YouTube streaming... the technical things they give and whatnot, ways to get started and things like that, YouTube continues to be a nice whole package. The question always is, do you want to stream on YouTube if it puts potentially your ability to do uploads at risk? Because YouTube has basically the monopoly on everything here. Let me see here. So that's the thing to keep an eye on. Alright then. So the challenges for Twitch continue. I'm surprised Amazon hasn't intervened more for besides things like the watch party and stuff like that. But I would say the platform to watch, the sleeping giant, is YouTube. As YouTube starts to wake up, it'll start asserting more dominance in this whole arena. Definitely. There are only a few UI and design changes away from being a force to be reckoned with. Twitch grew a lot, but they grew in everything. So, it's still crowded. And as we've seen with our ratios for Twitch versus YouTube, Twitch would have to be much, much, much bigger in order for it to offer the same kind of ratio that YouTube offers right now. So, this is the fight to keep an eye on as we go into Q3. How much does the sleeping giant wake up even more than it already is already? So that's that for the Q2 2020 numbers. Socials, exclamation point. Socials in the chat. YouTube.com/MultimediaJay, Twitter.com/MultimediaJay, and Twitch.tv/MultimediaJay. The Q2 results are definitely interesting, but in some ways, they are more of the same. Now the question is, where does YouTube take this from here into Q3 in terms of shaking things up at Twitch? Because as we've seen with YouTube on the upload side, a monopoly situation doesn't benefit the consumer in this type of stuff any more than any other market out there. Till next time, this is Multimedia Jay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.
Multimedia J Radio Style.